French furniture comprises both the most sophisticated furniture made in Paris for king and court, aristocrats, and rich upper bourgeoisie, on the one hand, and French provincial furniture made in the provincial cities and towns, many of which, like Lyon and Liege, retained cultural identities distinct from the metropolis. There was also a conservative artisanal rural tradition of French country furniture which remained unbroken until the advent of the railroads in the mid-19th century. You want to add French country to your living room? Choose materials like wood, cotton, linen, brick, and metal to bring authenticity. Features typically associated with French provincial furniture include cabriole legs and simple scalloped carving. Mix stripes, checks, and toile de Jouy, for example. And choose no more than 2 pattern colors. Dining chairs often have a wheat pattern carving reflecting the country surroundings of the maker. It has just the perfect distressed look. When you paint a piece of furniture, imperfection and patina are key. Classic chandeliers have arrays of hanging crystal prisms to illuminate a room with refracted light. While contemporary chandeliers assume a more minimalist design that does not contain prisms and illuminate a room with direct light from the lamps, sometimes also equipped with translucent glass covering each lamp. Chandeliers evolved from candelabra and were invented during the medieval period. They originally used candles as their source of light, which remained in use until the 18th century, when gas lights, later superseded by electric lights, were invented. Chandeliers are distinct from pendant lights, as they usually consist of multiple lamps and hang in branched frames, whereas pendant lights hang from a single cord and only contain 1 or 2 lamps with fewer decorative elements. Due to their size, they are often installed in hallways, living rooms, staircases, lounges, and dining rooms. This new type of chandelier was called chaka, literally bouquet of flowers, for the characteristic decorations of glazed polychrome flowers. Their shape was inspired by an original architectural concept. The space on the inside is left almost empty, since decorations are spread all around the central support, distanced from it by the length of the arms. It's no secret that the French have a knack for all things personal style and decorating. and we can usually turn to them for some of the best interiors and furnishings, from classic Tremont mirrors to iconic Charlotte Perriand furniture. The French are all about contrast when it comes to their decorating style. If the architecture of a room is very traditional and ornate, chances are they'll swing more modern in their furnishings. A sconce is a type of light fixture that is fixed to a wall. The light is usually, but not always, directed upwards and outwards, rather than down. The sconce is a very old form of fixture, historically used with candles and oil lamps. Modern fittings are more often called wall lights or wall lamps for similar terms, especially if the light source is wholly covered by glass. The light sconce also can be used for decor. The Industrial Revolution emerged in the late 1700s, which completely shifted America from an artisan and handmade process to a society that was dominated by a machine manufacturing industry. France. It has always been the land of fashion, design, and elegance. A name that, if mentioned, a vibe of classiness and sophistication comes to mind. Modern French interior design, or the Parisian style, is not different at all. It is associated with both being chic, yet simple. Wallpapers can come plain as lining paper, so that it can be painted or used to help cover uneven surfaces and minor wall defects, thus giving a better surface, textured, such as anaglypta, with a regular repeating pattern design, or, much less commonly today, with a single non-repeating large design carried over a set of sheets. Paint colors for your walls. The French are all about pleasure. Almost always, stimulating the senses and evoking emotions of life, love, and joyful passion. Joie de vivre. That is to say, the joy of life. Furniture pieces and fabrics warm in tone or cold? In addition, work in contrast. If you own a lot of warm woods and cheerful fabrics, think about calming the room with a cool wall color. Similarly, if you own a lot of monochromatic, cool-toned fabrics, consider a warm pale color to invite intimacy. French living rooms are eclectic in a classic way. Don't be afraid to mix and match patterns and styles in your living space to create a visually interesting room. Carpeting and area rugs may feel lush and soft underfoot, but the French embrace the bare floor look. Opt for natural wood flooring, if you can afford it, go for real, and bonus points if you pick a herringbone pattern to really get that Parisian look and feel. A rug is fine, but choose a vintage Turkish piece or a low-pile solid rug. These are traditionally interlocking wood, but could be plastic or other materials. Paneling was developed in antiquity to make rooms in stone buildings more comfortable, both by insulating the room from the stone and reflecting radiant heat from wood fires, making heat more even in the room. In more modern buildings, Such paneling is often installed for decorative purposes. Paneling, such as wainscoting and boiserie in particular, may be extremely ornate and is particularly associated with 17th and 18th century interior design, Victorian architecture in Britain, and its international contemporaries. Boiserie is the French term used to define ornate and intricately carved wood paneling. Boiseries became popular in the latter part of the 17th century in French interior design, becoming a de rigueur feature of fashionable French interiors throughout the 18th century. This has been going through my mind a lot lately, and it's motivated me to begin updating many of my rooms. Without question, the single biggest change and the easiest to make was updating the wall color. As the place where friends and family gather the most in a home, it's important for a living room to be not only inviting but also well decorated. Every detail matters, from the decorative pillows and cozy throws topping your expertly upholstered sofa to the eye-catching color combinations that enliven your space. Now back to the beautiful wallpaper. Bring the romance of beautiful France to your wall with a stunning France wallpaper. French self-adhesive wallpaper is best for me. I am always changing my home's decor. These wallpapers are designed to remove as cleanly as possible from non-textured walls that are painted in most finishes, ideally avoiding the need to repaint. And easy to find, all over the internet. French Panels has tasteful French moldings with simple but precise details. Its vertical lines help raise the ceiling a couple of inches, and it feels like the whole room straightens its back. French Panels. If you are looking for the real thing, second-hand shops are best ways to find them. A portière is a hanging curtain placed over a door or over the doorless entrance to a room. Its name is derived from the French word for door, porte. It is known to have been in use in Europe in the 4th century, and was probably introduced much earlier. And these panels look so welcoming and warm. They are very French in style. French decorating techniques to elevate your aesthetic. French interior design exudes a certain, it's equally refined and effortless. But the most effortless looks often require plenty of carefully curated design choices to achieve, and the signature French look is no exception. Do what feels right for you. I like to add a touch of vintage. Seek out vintage or antique pieces for your French-inspired space.